Hey, this is Tom Webster, pinch hitting for my partner, Bryan Barletta. And this is Sounds Profitable for Wednesday, August 2nd, introducing the download. Bryan originally wrote this, which is going to introduce the newest evolution of the download, which is a daily newsletter covering the essential news for the business of podcasting. Bryan was unable to record this, so I'm pinch hitting. But first, now available on Sounds Profitable, the Podcast Industry Glossary, a comprehensive resource for key terms in the business of podcasting. From actuals to vast URLs. I suppose that's funnier in print, I don't know. This living document can get you up to speed on over 130 terms in podcasting. Check it out now at soundsprofitable.com. So all of us at Sounds Profitable are incredibly proud to announce that today at 4 p.m. Eastern, Sounds Profitable is bringing the download to you every day, or at least daily, weekdays. We get a weekend, just like you, I hope. If when you get the download in your inbox this afternoon, the new daily newsletter is not to your speed, you can absolutely unsubscribe to it. It won't impact your subscription to our main Sounds Profitable newsletter. We respect you and we respect your inbox. I do hope you'll give it at least one shot, though. Last January, we got the idea of adding a Friday podcast and a Friday newsletter called The Download, which was built to keep those in the business of podcasting up to date, not only with the most important news from our space or about our space, but also the news from other marketing, advertising, or content channels that impact our space. To build The Download, we created a massive reading list, and Bryan combs through it every single morning, whittles it down for the team to pick from and expand on. In 10 minutes or less, we aim to provide you coverage that was meant for the business of podcasting, and I think we nailed it. But what we also realized was that we were leaving quite a bit of great coverage and education on the cutting room floor. So we decided to expand it, and now we're pleased to announce that the download will become a daily newsletter and a daily podcast. So what makes the download different? The three keystones of what we're doing with the download are respect, objectivity, and ownership. So first, we respect your time. I hope you've noticed that Sounds Profitable's current newsletters are completely ad-free, with our Friday edition of the download graciously sponsored by valuable content from Magellan AI. We will continue that ad and clutter-free focus for the daily edition of the download, which will be Monday through Thursday, with Spreaker from iHeart providing 4 unique data points that we're going to trend week after week. Now, as a reminder, neither partner is given any editorial preference or influence. Each day, we're going to highlight thought leadership and data snapshots from our partners and from other industry leaders, free of any ads or any sales pitches, built to be put into action to grow podcasting, to grow your business. Every story we highlight will link to the original source, while also providing a concise summary of the story and how it impacts the business of podcasting. We'll prioritize 5 primary stories with some other brief stories included at the end as quick hits where they are relevant. And then we'll close it out with partner highlights from our job board and our press release portal. After piloting this project for several months, we can confidently say that less than a quarter of the content that we're highlighting appears elsewhere in current podcast industry coverage, because we are uniquely focused on how podcasting sits in the broader media and advertising market. And by the way, if it's a slow news day, it'll be a short newsletter. You'll find no filler in our coverage of the industry. We're not going to waste your time. The download, like everything else from Sounds Profitable, strives for an impartial and objective take on developments in and around the audio industry. On a company level, Bryan and I believe it's important to disclose that we have never received outside investment. Neither of us have or plan to hold board seats or equity or advisory roles with any company in our space, and we don't offer any sort of work on commission. Our personal investment portfolios are managed by outside firms. We are as removed from the space in terms of financial influence as we possibly can be. Our over 140 partners in podcasting know firsthand that we honor MNDAs and other non-disclosure agreements and don't allow for partners to influence our editorial process in any capacity. We will not compromise on these points, and we believe you shouldn't either in where you source your industry news. Now, when it comes to the coverage we provide, there will be no value judgments, no editorial comments about the companies we cover, or otherwise putting our thumb on the scales of media. Our aim is unbiased, objective reporting and journalism without comment other than to contextualize the stories that we report. Every piece of this newsletter and podcast are built for you to confidently copy and paste for a client or for your team without having to rewrite it first. Which brings me to my last point here. The download isn't built for profit. It's built for you to own. We are incredibly lucky to have been able to build a business that isn't measured by subscription numbers, but we're proudly over 8,000 now, or open rates. We're still rocking a 50% plus unique open rate, which is really the highest I've seen in my career doing what I'm doing. And we've never been forced to find funding solely through advertising. So we've set our success metric for the download simply as a more educated industry, which to us means that whether we directly educate our readers or we empower all of you to educate more people in the space, we will have succeeded. As with all of our content, we want you to use it. Take snippets of it and put it in your own newsletters. Share it in your Slack channel. Send it to your clients. Even add it to your email signature. And whether that means taking a quote from one of our weekly newsletter articles or highlighting coverage in the download about the expected spending increase for back-to-school shopping this year, we want all of this to be the seeds of your own content. And while we'd love for you to reference where you got it from, we'd rather you just use it than not. Creating content is hard, I know this. So let us be a building block or a spark of inspiration for you. We've also carved out space specifically for thought leadership articles and for highlights of unique data provided by our partners to continue to platform all of their amazing work. This space is not for sale. It's only for articles and facts that we know will help you grow your business. Free of sales pitch, free of advertisement. So wrapping it up, we are incredibly proud of this project, which has been a lot of work from ideation to piloting, and we're confident it will prove to be valuable to the industry and valuable to you. Again, if 4 more emails from us every week isn't for you, we get it. You can unsubscribe just from that list without missing out on our weekly content when you get the email today. But of course, we hope you'll give the new daily version of the download a shot. Now, for at least the first 3 months, the podcast version will be voiced by me. Manuela and Shreya are still on board for the Friday recap that we all know and love. And of course, Gavin remains the editor and producer behind the scenes of our weekly and daily editions. But just as Bryan first started as the voice of the download weekly recap before handing it off to Manuela and Shreya, our goal is to eventually replace me in this role so I can ride off into the sunset and grow new talent and new voices. So if you're interested in that, we'd love to hear from you. If you have a news source that you love that covers podcasting, advertising, content, or marketing, absolutely send it our way so we can add it to our reading list. And if you have news to share, please submit it to our press release portal so that we can be aware of it and provide the coverage when relevant. And if you have any open positions relevant to the world of podcasting, don't forget to submit to our free job board. All of this, of course, is at soundsprofitable.com. Podcasting has grown substantially, but the coverage of our space still leaves a lot to be desired. Outlets larger than podcasting don't see the financial value of highlighting our space with expert coverage, but they do seem to find it valuable and easy to generate negative coverage about our industry. And I know that gets clicks. But thanks to your support, we're equipped to provide you coverage of advertising, marketing, and content far past podcasting to remind you where we excel, where we're falling behind, and how podcasting can take its rightful place in the media ecosystem. Thank you again for making all of this possible. Thanks again for listening to Bryan Barletta's article introducing the download. This episode was built using Spooler and hosted on Art19. Pinch hitting for Bryan, I'm Tom Webster. We'll see you next time.